I am a huge advocate for having financial friend groups. I really think that when we get together and talk to other people about their money situations, their money history, and what they're working on now, what their successes have been, and what they're working on in the future, that can really open up our eyes to see what's possible, see what other people have done and when they've had success. And let's be honest, sometimes if we've had money failures, it just feels good to know that we're not alone in that. So today I have a really great conversation between myself and a couple of my financial friends, Coach Malika and Coach Chianté. We are all three financial coaches, and we have met through a variety of different programs that we have both been in, or all three of us have been involved with. So I hope that you will enjoy this conversation today. Okay, today I am so excited to bring on a couple other fabulous women that also love money. And so today we're just going to have kind of a casual conversation between the three of us. And we have Chianté Jones and Malika, and we are all going to talk about our money stories and a little bit more about why we do what we do. So Chianté, if we can start with you first, tell us a little bit about what you do and how you help others with money.
Sure. Thanks for having me, Teri. So my name is Chianté Jones, and as Teri said, I'm a financial coach, and the name of my company is called Dollars and Change, where I support the financial well-being and empowerment of women. So I particularly work with professional women who are looking to confidently manage their money, create a realistic plan to eliminate their debt so that they can have more flexibility and create that solid financial foundation to build wealth. And I do that through one-on-one coaching as a coach. So that's what I do.
Wonderful. Thanks. And how about you, Malika?
Hey, Teri, thank you for having me. I'm Malika, aka Money Coach Malika. I'm the founder of Fabulous Financials, where I coach women specifically on how to become confident wealth builders. I mainly focus on teaching women how to invest in the stock market to build wealth. And I do that through one-on-one coaching and my group coaching program called the Sister Circle Financial Community.
I love that. I love that. And I think that that is something that I've been talking about a little bit more recently too, is creating community, right? And I think that a lot of people get intimidated about talking about money. They either don't want to feel like silly that they don't know something, or they don't want to talk about what's going on with them, right? Sometimes people just need to kind of like shed some of those outer layers and get just a little bit more intimate, I think, with some supportive people in the financial space. So I love that you're creating community around that too. I want to return that question to you, Malika, a little bit more about why have you chosen to focus on helping women specifically with investing and kind of learning more about investing and becoming confident?
Yeah, because I find that a lot of women, they don't really have a problem earning money. So earning money is just one piece of the financial puzzle. It's after they receive that money, they don't know what to do with it. So a lot of people think, oh, I need to make more money. Oh, I need to work a side hustle. Oh, I need to work a second job. No, what you earn may be enough. But do you know how to manage what you have? And then once you learn how to manage it, do you know how to grow it so that it works for you? So I want to focus on the other piece of the puzzle. After you make the money, then what?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And you've had your own success with that, correct?
Yes, yes, yes. My financial journey started in very humble beginnings. I was a teenage single mother, and I was on welfare for many years. After a very frustrating experience with a social worker, I became uber determined to become self-sufficient. And after about 20 years of successful investing, I became a multimillionaire and retired early from my career.
Yay, good
Now
for
I
you.
love to help other women do the same.
Yeah, that is so awesome. I love that. And I know, Chiante, I would love to hear a little bit more about, why you have chosen this path also to go down to help others with their money, because I know that you too have had your own success as well. So do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I was like your classic high achiever, following all the rules, I grew up with a single mom, and I knew like the path to success was to go to college, get a good job, and that's what you did. And so that is what I did. I was fortunate to end up with a government career, and I was climbing the ladder and everything was going well. But it happened in December of 2016, a performance evaluation time, feeling really good about things. And I was surprised to find myself sitting across the desk from my manager with tears running down my face after getting a mediocre performance review that I felt did not reflect the work that I had done for the year. And it just really left me feeling undervalued and really kind of powerless, like under someone else's control, as far as them deciding what they felt like I deserved, for as far as my raise and compensation and everything. And it just kind of was like a disruptor where it let me know that just following the rules wasn't going to be enough. And I had to like take more control and decide what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it, like create that own path to success. And I knew money was a huge part of being able to do that. So I got really focused and it just opened my eyes to new paths and possibilities. And I ended up becoming consumer debt free and a millionaire at 37. And then I was able to leave that 6-figure government job to pursue my dream of coaching and entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got me.
Yes. Money is a tool. Freedom
It
is the
is.
goal.
It
Yes.
is, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you absolutely open up your possibility for choice, and I think also time, right? If you have
Yes.
money, it allows you time to kind of like slowly think through some decisions, right? If you've got, some
Mhm.
things in front of you that feel like not really sure this is where I should be or where I want to be, it buys you a little bit of time and space and to have that freedom to choose what's next for you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely the flexibility and the options. Like even early on, I always knew that that's what I wanted, like options, but it took on like whole new meaning once that incident happened. And I was like, hold up, this
Yeah.
can't be it. I got to figure something else out here where, I just didn't feel so under someone else's control.
I'm also really curious when you tell that story. I also hear a lot about just your own like empowerment, right? Like you
Yeah.
were sitting there thinking like I know that I'm meant for more and have the capability for more, and I don't want to be limited by what this person says I will earn or what I can, how far up this ladder I can climb, right? And I'm
Right.
wondering especially when you're working with your clients too, do you ever have it where people actually are slightly in the opposite position where they need a little bit more like self-confidence and coaching around, worth and being able to like think bigger than just what you're in right now?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think that's a huge part of where I was at that time. It's like even my goal at that time was like, oh, I'm going to become a millionaire, but it just opened my eyes to a different path. Like, I had been you have this well-laid path to success that, the American dream that you're supposed to follow. And it just let me know that this wasn't the only way. And so like really with financial coaching, had that incident not happened, I probably wouldn't be here today because I was not thinking about entrepreneurship. I was not thinking about financial coaching. And if it wasn't for that happening, my eyes wouldn't have been open to the other possibilities. So when that financial coaching crossed my path, I immediately knew that that's what I wanted to do. And that's how I wanted to serve others. But my mind wouldn't have been there. So like, and just recognizing that your income is not, your salary is not the same thing as income, right? You can earn income in other ways outside of your salary. Like my mind just was not thinking that, which I know entrepreneurship is not for everyone, but it's just being open to something bigger and something more expansive and like removing those limiting beliefs that it has to be this one way and this is the only way.
Right, right. Yeah, I recently read just a little snippet of a quote too that was like your wealth is not your worth, right?
Mhm.
And there's a
Yeah.
lot tied into that too. And how about with you, Malika? Do you also find that when you're working with clients, they are, maybe just not aware of like all the possibilities or feeling stuck in any certain ways, or because you said they don't typically have any problem earning, it's just learning how to like manage and then grow that money. So how do you feel like the mindset generally is for the folks you're working with?
Yeah, most definitely. I find that many women are intimidated about investing. They're intimidated by the stock market. I've heard a lot of my clients make assumptions and think, oh, investing is not for me because it's too hard.
Mm-hmm.
Or they assume that the stock market is only for rich people.
Yeah.
And in particular, rich men.
Yeah.
So they immediately count themselves out.
Yeah.
They think, it's not for me, so why bother?
Yeah.
And one of the things that I focus on in the beginning, which I'm sure all financial coaches focus on first, is that money mindset and helping my clients to believe that wealth is available to them too.
Yeah.
That you can do this. It's not as hard as the financial bros would lead us to think it is.
Yeah.
And I try to simplify what appears to be a complicated process in layman terms and in ways that we can process and understand it. And I love to see when they have their light bulb moments and go, oh, this is easier than I thought it was.
Right.
Yes, it is. Wealth is available to you too. And if you want to invest in the stock market, I can show you how.
Yeah, absolutely. Education is just so empowering. And I think I want people to always, always be learning, right? If there's anything that somebody else is doing that you don't understand or whatever, you can kind of dip your toe in and learn a little bit about it. Like I never taught crypto because I'm like, my knowledge is like here.
That's not my lane.
That's not my lane either.
Yeah, it's like I don't try to teach what I don't understand. So
exactly.
right. But that's okay. I have my own ways of investing. And I also have other ways that I'm looking at investing that are new for me. And so I am surrounding myself with the right people that have been in it, have been doing it. So it's not, just that you're learning like everything that like you should do, but you're also learning what other people's real experiences have been with that too. And I think what is so great for all of us to remember, especially the three of us women here, but whenever somebody can see themselves in somebody else who's living that experience and saying like, I'm capable of doing this, you're capable of doing this, I'll hold your hand along the way. I think that's super important as well too, because
representation matters.
Yeah, exactly. There can just be such a smaller demographic that's in front of people talking about investing sometimes. So yeah, let's expand that for sure. Yeah, that's awesome.
And another thing I find really important is continuous learning. Even as a financial coach, I have a financial coach.
Yes.
Because there are many things I don't know about money. And I also have my own mindset limits.
Yeah.
Because when you reach a certain level or you accomplish a certain goal, there's always more to it. Yeah. But if you've never been exposed to that level, you still face challenges and question, is that for me? Do I have the ability to do it? Or I don't know how to do it, so I'm afraid to do it. So continuous coaching is really, really important, even for a financial coach, because there's levels to this money game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, yes. And that's how Chianté and I knew each other, earlier, because we both had invested in, our financial coaching businesses also, right? With a mastermind as well too. And then, we met you, Malika, in trying to hone a new skill, right? Which is really learning to understand how to talk about what we do in a very super impactful way. So, I'm really glad that we've all been able to connect, and it is because we're all trying to continue to learn and grow, right? That's so important. So I want to shift gears maybe just a little bit and ask, I find that we can so often have, it's not my term, it's, I've heard this before, but what we call financial flashpoints, right? So there are certain people or events or things like that in our life that have really like informed our own journey with money. And I would love to hear a little bit about, if either of you have any particulars that stand out for you. And I always say it's kind of funny. Mine's almost like the absence of having financial flashpoints, right? I was raised in a family where we didn't talk about money. We didn't talk about, sex or drugs or anything like that either. So we didn't talk about a lot of like, topics that feel a little, let's just face it, as a parent, they're challenging topics to talk about, but a lot of it is just like real world stuff that you want to know. But I did not have any bad money messages, nor any good money messages when I was growing up. It just like, I knew that my dad earned money and there was money that was spent, and I was somewhat confident we didn't have a ton of it, but I didn't ever feel like I was lacking either. So I just kind of came from this space of just like, I don't know. And I was just winging it, out there in the world. So I had to make a lot of my own mistakes early on, which, eventually led me to wanting to help others avoid some of those same mistakes as well. And now I help people who are even later in life and maybe are kind of having to pay some of the consequences already for having made past decisions and just want to do better now. So I'm curious if either of you have any particular, timeframes, moments, people, or events that you feel like really framed up money for you kind of early on.
Yeah, I'll share mine. I guess I've never heard the term flashpoint. And I'm kind of similar to you. It wasn't that. So I did grow up with a single mother, and pretty much oftentimes, so she was working like multiple jobs at a time. So I did see her like work really hard to make ends meet. And the good thing is that we were stable, because I know that's not everybody's story. As far as we're always stable, so I didn't feel like we were like moving around and all that kind of stuff. So it was stability there. But I also did know that my mom had to work hard to keep that stability. And I also knew that there was certain things that, just technically we couldn't afford. I felt like we were fine and we were comfortable. We didn't go without anything. But what it did was that as I got older, especially when I started earning my own money, but in my own career, making more money, I recognized, and this was really actually on my financial coaching journey, that there were still some scarcity beliefs that I had that really were true, probably when I was growing up, as far as maybe there wasn't money to buy certain brands or money to do certain things, but I would still make some decisions from that mindset and from that place, even though that wasn't necessarily the case anymore. So that was something that I had to recognize and work through. That I was still carrying those beliefs, and I continue to do that. Just like Malika was saying, like this money thing is a journey; it's a lifelong journey, and it's levels to this, y'all. Right? It's levels to this. Like there's always something more that you're learning. But that was something that I recognized in myself, from going on this financial coaching journey, like learning more about it. And I would just say, like for me, a flashpoint was, well, the performance evaluation incident was technically like a money flashpoint, but really discovering financial coaching led me to reevaluate my own personal finances, because you can be making good financial decisions and still not have like a concrete plan of what you're trying to do or be intentional about it, or just and so I realized that although I had been doing good, I really wasn't being like super intentional about what I was trying to do. So like just opening that door to being able to help others with money led me to reevaluate what I was doing and discovered new things like financial independence and retiring early. Like it just opened a whole new world to me.
Yes.
As I was on that journey as well.
Yeah, I love that. Absolutely. And I couldn't agree more that a lot of times we can be doing well, like we're not in a bad position.
Right.
However, if there's still no guidance, right? It's just kind of like I'm just kind of going along and there's no like bigger plan for it. Yeah, that intentionality is something that I know I hit on with clients a lot as well too, of like let's set that intention for what you want your money to be doing for you. Yeah, that's really great. Yeah. And how about you, Malika?
Yeah. My flashpoint, which is a very cool phrase. Thank you for that. It made me think about moments in my life that flash back to me that were really pivotal turning points.
Yeah.
And what comes to mind, the very first one is related to my story that I mentioned. I was a teenage single mother and I was on welfare for many years. And because I was also born into a household with a single mother, I'm being a little transparent here, but I normalized poverty.
Yeah.
I normalized poverty because that was all I knew. Yeah. Even though I was broke and poor, my life felt normal. I was loved. I had family support. My daughter had friends. She would play outside with all of her friends. So I normalized that lifestyle, and I didn't think about anything outside of that until that moment with the social worker. When she told me, you need to get a job and take care of your own child. And up until that point, I thought I was taking good care of my daughter.
Right.
I didn't understand what she meant until it clicked. Malika, you're a statistic. You're on welfare. You don't have the financial means to take care of your own child. It didn't occur to me until she said that.
Mm-hmm.
And that moment stands out to me as one of those flashpoints in my life that put a fire under my butt to at least explore what else was available to me outside of my norm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it took that turning point for me to even think about exploring it because I normalized poverty.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's so hard to know what possibilities are if when you look around you, you're not seeing a lot of possibilities, right? If everyone around you is kind of doing the same things that you are, or like you said, if you grew up a certain way and it felt okay, and then if you're kind of repeating that, it's like it feels okay, right? My daughter
You're
feels
safe,
loved and
you
more
have
stable.
food, you have love, you have all of your basic necessities, so nothing feels wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I won't say wrong. Nothing gives you the notion that you need to be doing something different.
Yeah. Right.
Because it feels normal.
There's no urgency there, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's really good.
Yeah, and that experience, it created a domino effect, and it led to me exploring the other possibilities. And that phrase, when you know better, you do better, it's not always easy. But as I learned more, I started applying what I was learning, and then my mindset started shifting slowly, and I started desiring more. And it started with those very, very, very small things. Increasing my income first, because you can't save and invest with money you don't have. Like if you literally have nothing, I was on welfare, I had nothing. So learning to increase my income first to make money so that I can first become self-sufficient, and then save a little money and have that first cushion that I'd never had in my entire life. So it started with those little small steps, that flashpoint moment that led to those little small steps. And small progress makes a big difference over time. I know a lot of people, they don't appreciate small progress, but those small baby steps, those milestones that build.
Yeah. Yep. It's just like the habits, right? I mean, it's just the day in and day out of those little things that you accomplish to get yourself to a place where it's suddenly like, okay, this is my new normal, right? Yeah. That's so good. And I love that you both talk about, you know, kind of just like having found like something that was just kind of like, oh, a little bit of inspiration. There are different ways of doing this and growing, and like you said, Chianté, about learning about, you know, the whole fire movement. When you know, it's so funny when and I'll stick with fire because so many people who are in that space feel like everyone knows about that space, right? They just feel like doesn't everyone like plan to like try to retire early? Isn't everyone trying to save as much as they can? And it's like, no, so some people have never heard of that concept before. And so, once you can start to like learn a little bit more about like, what are other people doing with their money, and how are they getting ahead, or how do they have, you know, time flexibility in their work, and just like learning about these other things can be, empowering, inspiring, all of the above. I would also love to know if either of you currently have some financial goals that you are working on right now.
Yeah, for me, I have financial adjacent goals, if that makes sense. My primary focus right now is serving my community and building fabulous financials. I want to see more women take control of their money, and observing the clients that I currently coach and observing their light bulb moments and seeing them making progress with their money. It is so fulfilling to me, where it gives me more joy than money ever could. So that's my goal currently, is building the business and helping more women learn how to manage their money better and grow it.
That's great. I love that. How about you, Chianté?
I would say for my goal, since I didn't quite retire like Malika yet, not yet, I'm still where I'm at as far as like my financial goals is like, so I've taken the leap from my federal government career and to go into entrepreneurship. So my goal right now, my immediate goal is just to rebuild my income in this new space. Like, so as an entrepreneur through my business, because just like what Malika was saying, like you got to have that money there to be able to, you got to be able to be earning to be able to do some other things. So that's first and foremost, but I love to be able to do it in a way where I'm doing work that I'm passionate about and being able to serve others while doing it. So like it is rewarding in the process, right? To be able to serve other women, to serve others and help them along their journeys while still being on my own, right? So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And I don't know if I've talked about this very much with my own community. So I'm going to answer this question too, really. So,
Thank you for saying that, because I was going to ask you, Teri.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like number one, like not only am I, continuing to invest and, learning how to look at other ways of diversifying. So, thinking about real estate, but I'm thinking about doing a house hack I got a divorce about 3 years ago. And so I sold my house. It was the first and only house I've ever bought and sold. And so I haven't bought another property yet. So I know that will be in my future. But before I do that, yes, in addition to continuing to build my business and help as many people as I can on their financial journeys, next year I actually plan on kind of like leaving it all behind and doing some van life traveling, probably for at least a year to two. So it's going to be really nice that I will be completely like location independent and just out there and like seeing it all, right? And knowing that, again, I have the financial freedom to do that feels super good to me.
Teri, I'm smiling so hard because what I didn't mention, the reason why I don't have specific financial goals is because I'm living my dream. What I did share is, I heard you say house hacking.
Yeah.
Another financial strategy that a lot of the FIRE community implement is geo arbitrage.
Yep, exactly.
Right? Yeah.
I just moved abroad to Mexico.
Yay!
I'm in Mexico right now, and using my US dollars in Mexico, where the cost of things is substantially less. I won't say cheap, but substantially less.
Right.
Yeah. What I paid in the United States, it stretches my dollar.
Totally.
More. So I'm truly financially free, location independent, time independent, financially independent. And that's the ultimate goal. So I've only been here a month now, and I committed to testing the waters for at least 6 months.
Good.
Okay. So far. I'm loving it so far.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. And I have
seen about your van life journey.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited about it too. I really am. So and I have seen some of your postings about your travels and kind of trying to like nudge people to like stop thinking about it and just get out there and do it, right? So I've seen some of that on social media. So
the world out there.
It is, right? So much to see. So if anyone just really has fallen in love with the stories that you've told today and wants to continue to stay connected to you both, where can people follow and or find you? Chianté, we'll start with you.
Yeah. So my central hub is my website, is dollarsandchange.com. And all my social media links are on there, but you can find me on YouTube. I'm just reviving my YouTube channel. So my handle on there is @dollarsandchange, and that's the name of the channel as well. Great. Facebook, Instagram, you can find me at dollarsandchange coach. So,
I love it.
Love to connect.
Great. And Malika?
Yes. You can find me on Instagram at Money Coach Malika.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you both so much for joining me today to have this conversation. I think it is so important that we continue to show people that talking about money and doing better with your money, it's all to benefit you in the long run, to help you have some more financial freedom. And we're all super happy talking about money, right?
And don't be afraid of those small, humble beginnings with the baby steps.
Yeah.
They add up.
Yes.
Every step counts, right? Every step counts.
Every step counts. Indeed. All right. I will make sure to link to everything that we've talked about here in the show notes as well today too. But thank you so much. I appreciate your time today, and take care.
Thank you for
Thank
having me.
you.
I hope you enjoyed this discussion today. If you liked hearing these stories, you can check out some of the other people's podcasts that I've also been on in this playlist. All right, take care, and I will see you next time. Bye.